Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Can I just scream?
Oh, please.
All right.
Go for it.
It's just edited out. It's just like the...
Yeah, I just leave in 30 seconds of silence.
Just 30 seconds. That'd be great, actually. It's just like the cursing bleep for like 30 seconds. That'd be
right,
great.
yeah.
I do love how many times this year we've been able to say that we're right. That's nice.
I mean, fuck, dude. Like... The longer this goes on, the more we are vindicated. And that's what's keeping me going, because I live off of spite and being right, you know?
If we don't make that into merch, then I don't know what the fuck we're doing, you know?
So true. All right, I'm going to jot that down real quick for the old ideas then.
Because that is...
For sure.
I mean, that's our whole thing.
Right. Yeah, welcome to the Twilight.
Welcome to the
Spite
Twilight.
of being right.
I mean, both for this podcast and also, you know, like what I tell my therapist every week of like,
Sure.
That's why I wake up every day, you know?
Right. Those are my prime motivators. Should they be different? Sure. Are they?
No.
As of this moment, no.
I mean, listen, I'm not fucking Dua Lipa. I don't have radical optimism anymore.
Right.
I'm not 18.
Right. I can't just go to Ibiza and have my problems fixed, okay? I need rage. I need to prove something to someone, even if it's a metaphorical someone.
I'm not the fucking fresh-faced 18-year-old going at the top of the roller coaster anymore. I'm the skeleton coming back down, all right? And that's fine. I sit in it now, and I'm happy, and I accept it.
Right. I love being a skeleton. It's really cool.
love it.
I love seeing my bones exposed all the time. It's great.
It's why I don't go outside anymore, all right? But you know what it gets me? You know what that experience gets me? It gets me spite, and I'm right more often.
Right. Exactly.
So welcome into the Twilight.
Hey.
We get better with age.
Okay. Yeah, like a fine wine.
And you know what? You know that about me. I know a lot about fine wine.
You
know
are
that
an expert,
about me.
For sure. You're a real wino. I have always said that about you.
My jigsaw would be, that motherfucker would put me in there with a bottle of wine and a wine cork, and I would off myself, because I don't know how to open those things. I would start using my teeth to gnaw that wood off, because I don't know. That's
Sure.
the scariest puzzle I've ever seen.
Yeah, that is quite literally a jigsaw puzzle, for sure.
Because why does it look like the speculum? Like,
Yeah.
What do you mean I have to use the tools that they use at the OBGYN to open a bottle of wine?
Right, like I shouldn't be doing this. This feels violating.
I don't have a master's I have a master's degree, but I don't have a doctorate.
Right. Yeah, I'm not trained for this. Come on.
Welcome to the Twilight. This is episode 369. We are bringing that energy today.
Fucking nice, dude. Yes.
This episode
Absolutely.
that we are covering today definitely has a 369 energy to it, obviously. Didn't make me weep.
Right, yep. It's just party town over here. We had a good time and it's a fun episode. We're gonna strap the fuck in.
I mean, listen, hey, it is called Rose. And I do see a lot of people promote those on Twitter, so...
Hey, that is true.
Why don't we ever have ads for nasty sex toys? For sinners, you know?
Fuck. For sinners. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta really corner into our target audience, which is just depraved sinners.
Just for nasty perverts.
Yeah. Nasty perverts. Yeah, is this ad friendly? Yeah, hey, we have a sick and twisted fan base of perverts.
Yeah, you know us.
Give us money?
you know us, notably an abstinence-only show.
Notably a Mormon
Fuck me.
Influenced.
Notably us who can get through saying that with a straight intonation.
Yeah.
Christ. How are you?
I'm here. I'm living. I'm feeling the energy and the vibes of the space and the universe.
Yeah, you feel the air tonight. Yeah.
I have a happy thing. It is not a show. It is not a piece of media even. Whoa.
Oh.
Because I made a purchase, okay?
Whoa.
I made a purchase. I got my tax refund.
Wow.
I've been on the hunt for an e-reader for a very long time.
Ooh,
And
okay.
I'm done with Kindle, okay? I'm so done. I'm over it because they don't make fucking e-readers with buttons anymore. And that's fucked up, right? I don't understand why. I want page turn
Yeah,
buttons.
it's nasty. They do need to lean back into that, like, leapfrog UI.
Yeah.
They need to go back to buttons.
But I had the OG one when I was growing up. And it had, like, a button keyboard, and page turn buttons. And that was we peaked at design there. It was great.
We did, yeah.
And a couple years ago, I got still an older one, probably like 10 years old at this point, that has page buttons on either side, which is great. But it's old, so it like doesn't have a backlight. But I was like, motherfucker, I'm tired. I want something that I can read at night without putting another light on top of it, you know? And I want to invest in myself. And also, fuck Amazon, right? Like, you know?
Sure, yeah.
I want to just like find something that works. And so I found this bad boy. This is not an ad, okay? But it's called a Books, or Books, but it's spelled B-O-O-X. I'm going to say Books because it's more fun, okay?
Yeah, I like books.
And it is the love of my life. I love her so much. Because I kept seeing like this brand. It's a Chinese brand. And it's essentially like an Android device. Theoretically, I could download TikTok on this. It would not be a very good experience, but I could.
Would it be all grayscale?
Yes, it's all right. So it's e-ink. So it's like more of that like non-glare kind of stuff. But I can also download my Kindle app or like the library app or any of the other book apps or my audiobook apps, which always take up a fuck ton of space on my phone.
They do.
And I can just have it all in this one thing. And this is just like my little reading guy.
It looks like it's book size. It looks like it's just a normal book size.
It's like a little small. It's kind of more like square, which is kind of nice. It's like probably like a smaller than a paperback in height, but like a little bit wider in width. But it is beautiful.
I love it. I also just love the name. I love books.
Yeah, it's a great name.
I have an e-reader. I just always forget to use it. And so this
fair.
is a good reminder to go find my charger for it and actually plug it in.
Hell yeah. How are you doing, my dude?
I'm here. I'm alive.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm also going to bring an art piece today. This is something that made me laugh so hard this week that it gave me like a cramp in my stomach. So it felt appropriate as my happy thing. I am by no means an artist. So this is not something that I relate to by any means. However, as someone who has said before that I collect and make a folder of all of the funny TikToks that I find.
Which is just the Lord's work. This is it's incredible archival work that you do every year. It's it's the best time of year when that rolls up and I'm like, fuck yeah, it's 2023 time. It's time to go through all the hits.
Yep. It is the work that I do. It is how I found this artist and also comedian named Cass on TikTok. They are doing something I have never seen before. And it is taking funny videos on TikTok. They are Cass.colors. They're taking funny videos that I appreciate and enjoy. And about like right when the drop happens. So the one that I have shared with you is like this person just made a smoothie and they are about to open it up and it just spills everywhere on this person's face. And they cut right when that happens to them sketching. And I imagine that this person, that Cass uses it as like a inspiration to do warm-ups. Yeah. Because I know artists do that, whatever that means for them. But what I love that Cass does is in almost a like Rickroll fashion, they share these like really quick warm-up drawings of these in the moment things and start to tell a story like a commentary of the drawing, but they never fucking finish the story. And that's so good to me, that they always cut off their story to the point that it's like, and you never know when it's going to happen. Like, there was one where they were like talking about, as an artist, having to buy something called India ink, which I guess as an artist is like, you need it for art school and it's really expensive. But they never finished why they needed it or what the purpose was. And people in the comments were like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what does that mean? And it always leaves me wanting more. And it's just this very good niche of, like, you see someone drawing in a very, like, comic book-esque style. And you also get to see a really funny TikTok at the same time.
Right, you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and it's just something I've never seen before, to the point that I watched all of them and my stomach was hurting so bad from laughing.
Yeah, like, the timing on these are incredible. Like, it really is, like, the exact moment where you're like, okay, here's the thing. And it's just, like, boom, and it's, like, more lo-fi, but, like, very well illustrated. Like,
you have to have, like, galaxy-brained thinking to do the timing on these. And that's something that I just genuinely appreciate.
Yeah.
It's just, if you need someone, there's, like, I don't know, maybe 15 videos on there right now. Just a quick watch, but it is a masterclass in timing and also art, which I genuinely appreciate.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You get a lot of perspective. You get a lot of, interiors. You get a lot of expression here. A lot of stuff. A lot of good stuff.
And I love to see it. I'm very grateful for it. As someone who I appreciate art. I have no concept of how I would need to draw those, but it's also just like a quick study. It's not perfect, which I love that.
It's beautiful. I love this. This is primo TikTok, of like
it's just the best of the best.
Goofiest little things, but that also require talent and comedic timing.
It's one of those things where it's like, I'm sharing this with you. It looks easy. Right? Absolutely none of that is easy. But it's the talent that makes it look easy.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. I am chomping at the bit to talk about what the news that you dropped. I woke up to this news.
Listen, I want to shout out a friend of the pod, Ayana Miller, because she sent this to me within seconds of this being posted on Twitter. Like, the speed was absolutely phenomenal. So
that's
thank
community.
You for your service. Yeah, the community healing is real. Thank you so much. We hope to have her on the show at some point. She's phenomenal. But dude, I've never been more electric.
Our prayers have been answered.
On twitter.com, I was hooting and hollering because motherfucker Kristen Stewart is making her grand return to vampire movie.
She's coming home.
She's coming home. She's back to her roots, baby. We're so back.
This was, as I kept reading this headline, I went from excited to, like, vibrating with, like, boy band excitement to, oh my God. It was like KStew, and I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, Oscar Isaac, and I was like, oh fuck. Oh my God.
Right. Every word of this kept getting better. Like, I had to process every, like, 3 words of this in, like, different iterations because I couldn't even comprehend all the things that were happening at once.
And then it was like the fucking galaxy brain meme, because it's like 80s vampire thriller. What? Did you take this? Did you just roll a dice of, like, all of our favorite things?
Yeah, it's like, did you probe me or something? And
right, exactly.
And get all of the things. Like, even having, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Panos Cosmatos, who did Mandy, which fucking rips.
The movie that I still have nightmares about.
Yeah.
After seeing in 2018.
Yeah, like, for sure. Like, all of these things, I was like, what? Where? Did you take my diary? Did you have all my hopes and dreams that I didn't even put to pen to paper to? And yoink them from my lobe? What?
Have they been in our text thread the entire time?
Yeah. Listen, I'm all for maybe, people looking into our phones if it produces this. Like, maybe this
Right,
is
exactly.
fine,
If this
like,
is
not
the outcome.
government, but, like, if this is the outcome for, like, creatives, sure, I love that. Please. Because this
If
is everything I've
surveillance
ever wanted.
leads to this and Altoid Sours coming back, that's fine. If anything else, like if it leads to what we've actually been having, then no. But if the two outcomes are this movie and Altoid Sours coming back, then maybe we can talk.
Right. That's the only trade I'm willing to make for sure, for my privacy. Yeah.
Y'all are about to be sick of us.
Yeah. Yeah, get fucking ready.
If you thought we were nasty now.
You haven't seen nothing yet, sisters. Come on.
And that's saying something, because Interview with the Vampire Season 2 isn't even out yet, but prepare to be fucking sick of us.
Yeah. God damn.
80s vampire thriller? Hey, Super Yaki, get in our fucking emails, because the merch for this...
Literally. Oh my god.
If we don't get fucking jackets, like... what are those fucking alumni, like varsity jackets?
Yeah.
I want varsity jackets. I want booty shorts.
Yep.
We need merch immediately. That
reminds me, I still have Robert Pattinson's shorts somewhere. I don't know when the last time I've seen those, but they do exist somewhere in my home.
They're waiting for you like an omen somewhere.
Yeah. Right, yeah, I'm just gonna find them, like, in a weird corner of a closet. Be like, and it's like, it's time. It's time to put these on.
Just hedonistic 80s vampire thriller just does something to me. Like, that's my fucking sleeper signal.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
God. So prepare to be fucking sick of us. And we're never wrong. Ever.
We're never wrong. So. We're always right. Apollo just fucking drop kicked both of us with the gift of prophecy. I'm sorry about it,
Yeah.
Also,
it's
anyways,
hard work, but somebody's got to do it.
No, literally. Also, anyways, in less exciting news, but also still important aesthetic news, Urban Outfitters dropped vinyls this week.
Yeah, reissues of both Twilight and New Moon.
Yeah,
I think. Both sold out within like minutes. You cannot get them anymore, and people are already selling them on eBay for like hundreds of dollars.
I didn't remember this when Midnight's came out, but Taylor's Midnight's vinyls looked exactly like this.
Interesting.
Interesting. I'm gonna need to go back to my corkboard. I will report back next week with some thoughts. I want to do everything but talk about this episode. Not because I don't like it, but just because I'm so emotionally upset.
Yeah, I'm raw for sure.
And that's saying something, because last week's Masquerade episode was hurt a lot.
Yeah.
And we got Catherine locked up by Damon. We got Elena, oops, almost died. We got Bonnie had a cousin who we'll probably never see again.
Yeah, that's a lot of whiplash for sure.
And then we get Rose, and we got Scary Mask Guy.
Yes, scary, clown mask man, or jester, whatever.
And then this episode that I thought I made the naive mistake thinking that it wasn't going to wreck me. And I apparently should never go into a TVD episode thinking it's not going to emotionally upset me anymore.
Right, yeah, we can't go in that because we're just going to hurt ourselves,
Apparently I can never watch the show anymore with my guard down. So my bad.
High alert. Something that was funny, though, at the beginning of this, because I know we've talked a lot about how Jeremy is looking more and more like a full, just 30-year-old man in this. And we've said that a lot, so I'm not going to harp on it too much. But something shifted this episode at the beginning where
he looks like
voice,
a man.
He looks like a man, but his voice, particularly when he's like, he literally goes like full like bro mode. It's like, yo, Elena. And I'm like, what? Excuse me? It's like, who is this? This was the Twink a season ago. What has happened here? Excuse me?
there are so rarely regrets that I've had over the past 8 years on this show. I have never regretted saying that I wish Jeremy was off the show more. I would die.
Yeah.
I will leave this show before I will let Jeremy leave this show. But I agree. He had like a second puberty this episode.
Yeah. Something shifted for sure.
His McQueen's dropped. And that's weird because the actor himself is like 30. But it's confusing. I'm so stressed. Every time that I see him, I get flushed. And that's weird because that doesn't happen to me with a lot of people.
Sure.
But there were moments in this where he was interacting with Bonnie and Elena, weirdly, that I just wrote down key smashes. And that is that makes me upset because that hasn't happened to me in a long time with someone. Yeah. So, fuck off, Stephen. You pissed me off.
How dare you.
There's, you shouldn't, Jeremy, the character, should not be able to, hug his sister and grab her by the back of her head like that. Your siblings. Don't do that. This isn't a Folgers commercial. You don't... Stop. You're upsetting me. Hey, by the way, not that I'm upset about it, where was Jenna?
It would be more helpful if it was where isn't Jenna, right?
Where
she's not at her home. She's never there, you know.
She was obvious. She was with Rick, right? Do we just have to assume that she's always at Rick's place now?
Right, she just doesn't live at home. She's just cohabitating with Rick. Meanwhile, there are 2 minors just in this house getting fucked over by vampire nonsense.
I'm trying to imagine that that's what happened. The confusing part is that Damon and Stefan got weapons from Rick this episode. So if Jenna was there...
she's still nowhere to be found.
Where's Jenna?
We get eyes on Jenna.
Is Jenna alive? Because why did Jeremy have to be the one to tell Stefan, so glad that y'all are back together? And he's like, what the fuck?
What are you talking about?
What do you mean we're back together? And he's like, oh yeah, well, Lena's car is still at Miss Lockwood's house. And he's like,
oh, interesting. Word. Cool.
Word. Great. Who's Jenna, or who's Elena fucking now? That sounds like Mrs. Lockwood probably should have told Jenna that.
Yeah. Probably would be helpful, you know?
Seeing as Elena wasn't supposed to have left the house. She was supposed to go up to her bed that night, but fuck me anyway. We talked about this a couple episodes ago about who the big bad was supposed to be this season.
Right.
I had said when we first started watching this that the only thing I knew was that Bonnie at some point leaves, and then I knew the name Klaus. Yes. I didn't think that Klaus came in at any point this early.
Yeah.
So when they said his name, and then they said the originals, and then they looked us directly into the fucking eye this episode.
They're wink, wink.
I was like, wait, what? And I had to do some timestamp confirming, because I was like, this can't be the backdoor pilot. The originals doesn't start for another 3 years. So
okay, interesting.
This isn't the backdoor pilot. Now I'm confused because I didn't even dare to think that our big bad this season was Klaus because I thought we still had a little bit more time.
Right.
But they're definitely setting it up like the originals are the big bad this season.
Right. So it's what's going on?
Right.
I'm losing the plot here. What do you mean? What?
Apparently, fucking Katerina Petrova, which sounds like Katya's drag name, by the way.
Yeah, literally.
Isn't the big bad this season. It's the originals, TM.
Yeah, TM.
So, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, fuck my drag, I guess.
No, literally fuck my drag. I also felt really bad for Elena this whole episode because she's still in those clothes that she got, like, quote, stabbed in. So she just has, like, fake blood the whole time.
Just, like, on her chest, like, the whole time.
Yeah. She's just had a really bad, like, 8 hours.
Yeah, she's like, I know I'm getting kidnapped or whatever. Can, like, you just throw me, like, an old t-shirt? Does anyone have, like, a big sleep shirt or something? Like, this is embarrassing.
Can we just stop by, like, Rue 21, like, really quick?
Just, like, a real fast. Can we just do a little pit stop, please?
I'll even settle for Walmart, all right? I just can't be in these clothes right now.
Come on.
If I'm gonna die, I can't die in this. Yeah. Not my Converse.
Have some respect. Yeah, come on.
This is, just so that you know, this is a full-ass Supernatural episode.
I was definitely getting the vibes, and I figured you would have thoughts.
This is a, like, no joke.
Like, top to bottom, yeah.
They're back in Damon's muscle car. Mm-hmm. They're driving 300 miles to a case. Damon and Stefan, all black.
Yeah.
That's literally, like, that would have been enough. They go to Rick's to get weapons. So Rick is their Bobby. That's their weapons guy. Mm-hmm. They're even doing the whole, like, are we bonding thing.
Right, but, like, can we not have road trip bonding right now? So nasty.
And Rose plays a quintessential character in season 3 of Supernatural.
Okay.
The actress.
Yeah, interesting.
Which I know some of you might know Rose from Fast and the Furious. You're incorrect. She's a CW actress.
Yeah, don't get it twisted.
We're watching a CW show, so she's a CW actress. That's Miss Lauren. Put some respect on her name.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like, this is a full-on... They had scrapped this episode from Supernatural for some reason.
And just slapped it over on here.
And just, like, threw it over to the Vampire Diaries writer's room for some reason.
Oh my god.
So, and I don't hate it. Because this was my whole thing. But I just wanted you to be aware that you just watched an episode of Supernatural.
No, yeah, thank you. I just inadvertently watched an episode of Supernatural.
Yeah.
I'm part of the hive. I'm part of the fandom now.
Yeah. At least, like, one of the plots of this, anyways, is an episode of Supernatural.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Which of these painful plots do you want to talk about first?
Oh, God. I mean... I feel like we gotta wait to get into the Damon of it all, right?
If we can save it, that would be great.
Let's go the Bonnie Jeremy train.
They are trying to push this so hard.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
I also don't know how I feel.
On one hand, I kind of get it. Like, I can see how this could be something that would be cute. But again... This is so much of Jeremy's thing. He has a type for supernatural ladies, which is fine. Know your truth, buddy. But also, he keeps getting hurt by the people around him, and Bonnie's very much in a state right now where she is, like, pushing herself very hard for the people around her and doesn't get respect for it. And also, like, degrading her physical body and emotional everything, brain power.
Correct.
To do all these things, which is gonna be not good very soon, and already isn't good, right? But, like, it's gonna be very, like, the consequences are gonna come rearing in, you know? And Jeremy's gonna be in another situation where he's like, I love you, you know, something crazy happens, and then he's gonna be heartbroken again or feel a certain type of way, like the last 3 times, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see that.
I also don't want to see that. I don't hate it. I think that these actors themselves have chemistry. So I don't... For sure. That's not the issue that I see here. I also think that the characters themselves have, over the last couple episodes, shown chemistry.
Yes.
So I don't think it's that. I think that the conflict that I have is Jeremy loves supernatural women. So I think that is that is more of the interest that I see and less of Bonnie herself.
Yeah.
And I think that right now Bonnie is just lonely. Yeah. And Jeremy is familiar. So I don't know that there's any deeper connection beyond just like they're familiar to each other, because in theory Bonnie has been friends with Elena for decades, right? So they just know each other. There's familiarity there.
Right.
And I think that is helpful for the two of them right now because they need comfort, but I don't know that there's actually like longevity there. And maybe they don't need longevity, but I don't know that there's anything there. And selfishly, I don't want Jeremy to be partnered with Bonnie because he has a track record with killing women that are around him.
Stay away from her.
And so
don't put your curse on her.
So I don't mind you hanging out with her.
Yeah.
But just, I want Bonnie to stay alive as long as possible.
Yeah.
So
I
maybe
think that's valid.
So maybe don't. Maybe don't do that. Plus, there was more chemistry with Bonnie and Damon. There was more fire.
Oh, completely. Yeah.
I don't know that means that they're good for each other, but I thought that they were more interesting to watch.
Yes.
So, did I think that the scenes between them were really cute? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
So I don't mind it, but I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it for the long term. I'm also just worried about Bonnie.
Yeah. I
the
think
nosebleeds stress
real
me
friends in her life that check on her
Yeah.
rather than being like, hey, witch, can you do something for us?
Yeah.
Like, she needs someone to be like, hey, girl, are you good? Because the answer is no.
The answer is no. And we've joked about the spa before, but I think that she for real, like, needs a spa.
Yeah.
And someone who she can open up to. I think that was Graham's for her.
Yeah.
It seems like she doesn't have a guide, right, who she can ask questions to. But she also doesn't seem like she has anyone who she can be vulnerable with anymore.
Yeah.
And that sucks because Caroline and Elena, like, know they're, like, in the supernatural world. So theoretically, she could be vulnerable with them. And it's a shame that now she feels like she can open up less than she could 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I would love for her to be able to feel safe enough to do that and not feel pushed to the point where she is doing so much witchcraft that she's going unconscious.
Right. Yeah.
And Jeremy's
that
like,
would be ideal.
Hello?
What do I do? Hello? Are you good?
I'm literally 15 years old.
Right. Oh, God.
I did think that moment was, like, cute, though, because he was like, hey, Bonnie, when I'm tired, I take a nap.
Right. I don't, like, go unconscious. So maybe we should, treat ourselves better and our bodies and our mental state,
Felt
maybe
called
not
out.
overwork ourselves.
That, the spells she does in this episode are really cool, though. Like, the way that they portrayed them.
Oh, yeah.
Were interesting. She's obviously getting stronger.
Yeah.
But they're really showing, and she says this, too, that, like, the witchcraft is fighting back, which is scary.
Yeah. Like, is that allowed? Hello?
Literally, like, is that allowed? And no one seems concerned. I want her to have a coven. The only thing I care about is Bonnie.
She just needs to have her girls or something. Can we just get her a space without these fools just ruining her life?
Oh my God. In that moment, by the way, how did you feel about the very obvious LG promo with Jeremy's phone?
Oh my God. So good. We're so back. We used to have real television.
We did. It used to be, the product placement used to be very obvious, and I miss it desperately. I also miss those phones. You remember when you used to accidentally click on the maps and you would, like, force close it like 16 times?
Right, you're like, no, please, God.
No, fuck. I can't click the internet.
Yeah. don't use my data.
Don't use my data. It'll cost me like $1 million.
Right. That bill's gonna be astronomical.
Speaking about like the less painful stuff in this episode, how did you feel about Caroline and Tyler?
I'm tentatively interested in what's going on here.
Same.
Because I think they are very something I would hope for Bonnie, honestly, of them being like, I'm kind of on my own here, right? Obviously, like, Caroline's not the only vampire here, even though that's what she tells him. Which, slay. Protect yourself, girl. But they do kind of exhibit a very similar thing, which is they do feel very alone, and they have kind of been thrusted into this not really on their own choice or volition, and are just kind of like living with it and making it work. So I think it's interesting, and I do kind of like that she's dumbing it down to Damon and being like, oh, he's just like some guy, you know, like, I'm not telling him shit. And also, like, you know, we learn, I don't know if this was discussed earlier in this, of like the a werewolf bite can kill a vampire. It's like, okay, we're getting a lot of different technicality and lore here, all right, which tracks. But of just being like, you know what, fuck it, like, I'm not playing by your rules. And also because Caroline doesn't really fit well into the Damon Stefan vampire situation, but now that she's here, she's like, well, let me just make some allies and friends, maybe romance, who knows, with this other guy who's going through it in the same way that I am.
This was the most interesting Tyler has been
completely,
thus far.
For sure. Yeah.
And I don't know, I think it's because he was vulnerable, but not a victim. And I think that thus far in the show, they have tried to make Tyler be flat, of like, oh, he's just an asshole. Like, he's just bullying people. Or he's being victimized by his father. And this was the first time where it's like, oh, he is hella strong, but he's on his own. And that is interesting. We can play with this.
Yeah, right. We got some stuff to work with, for sure.
And there's one of my favorite moments of them interacting is when Tyler like does a B&E into Caroline's house, which, like, you're doing a B&E into the sheriff's house, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, come on now.
And he totally thinks Caroline is a werewolf because for some reason, homeboy doesn't think vampires exist. Like, can you expand? You think, werewolves exist? Like, expand your lore. But he, like, when he backs up Caroline and says, say it, and she just giggles at him. Oh my God. Because it didn't even come off as, like, romantic, but that's just so Caroline, and he's so pissed off about it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but last episode in the masquerade, I thought he had clocked her as a vampire.
Yeah, right. That's what my assumption was, too.
I thought that had already been done, and so some of these things, I was like, wait a second. What do you mean that you don't know? Like, you just think she's strong? What are you talking about? You thought, like, the sheriff's daughter just knew, like, fucking Krav Maga? What? Yeah.
She's at the gym working on her fitness. You know?
She's just a really strong cheerleader. What? All right, sure. But no, I loved that. I thought that I agree. I think that it's something I wish that Bonnie had. And there was earlier on in the episode when Damon was warning against it. Ian sounded sick. Like, his voice sounded different, which I had written down. But I'm cautiously interested, I'll say. Not super interested, but just cautiously.
Yeah.
I wonder why Trevor, who was not the mask guy apparently didn't end up being important. Which is, sure.
He was just the delivery guy.
He was just, yeah. He was just the pizza delivery guy. But Trevor doesn't have a ring. Mm-hmm. Like, homeboy couldn't be in the sun. Yeah. And we find out he's 500 years old. You haven't gotten a ring yet?
They didn't give you one of those in the mail?
Right. After all this time,
you joined the Vampire Society?
Have just been traveling by moonlight? Yeah. What? I thought that was super interesting, by the way, because I would assume the vampires have been around this long. But when Damon and Stefan find out they seem to not know the originals, which is like this world's Volturi.
Right. It's
Why
like,
don't you two know anything?
They don't know shit. Like, the fact that when Rose is doing this kind of, like, interrogation with Elena, or Elena's just like, you already got me. Can you just, like, tell me what the fuck's going on? Like, you don't have to be all like, ooh, evil plan. Like, I'm already here. I can't leave, so.
And it's, like, an abandoned house. You know that would have to echo in there.
Right. Exactly.
You can just talk in front of me. It's fine.
Yeah, and she's bringing up the originals, and she's like, what? It's like, oh, you didn't learn shit. It's like, yeah, she has no tangible information outside of a couple things that are, you know, important and all that. But, like, Damon and Stefan are not very good teachers because they don't know jack. It's like, you guys have been around for, like, 200 years. How have you not paid attention to anything? What is going on?
I'm convinced, honestly,
useless.
That especially because Stefan didn't even notice that Elena got.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that when Stefan and Damon originally got turned, they didn't receive Spidey sense powers. Like, I think something went wrong.
It has to
with
be
them.
Yeah.
Because why do all of the other vampires pay attention to things, and these two are just like aloof goose?
You're right.
They're just fully vibing.
God.
I don't understand. Like, there was a part where they were just like slowly after they arrived and they parked their car, they were just like slowly walking when Elijah had showed up, and he was fully about to like off Elena in that moment. How did you not use your super hearing to be like, we gotta book it right now?
We gotta run. We can't just saunter in here. Like, it's fine.
They're so embarrassing.
God, useless.
This lore drop is interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because I had been wondering what a like Volturi-esque system in this world would be.
Yeah.
And that is kind of what the originals are.
Yes.
But instead of old ass names, we just have biblical ones like Elijah.
Right.
Sure. Okay. Sounds good. What I'm unsure about right now is that it sounds like, what I wrote down anyways, is that there are multiple doppelgangers.
Mm-hmm. That
Catherine, aka Katarina, they said was one of them.
Yeah, interesting.
What? What do you mean? What do you mean? Why are there multiples? Why are there clones? Where's the original one? And why did they stick... What? I'm confused. And also, they had been lying about the Moonstone, because that's what made it. But to break it, you have to kill the spare, which is Elena.
Right.
So that sucks. Bye, Elena.
Bye, girl.
Also, how did you feel? This gave me very strong Bella energy. When Elena tried to negotiate with Elijah.
Oh my god.
He was so caught off guard there for a moment.
Yeah, I'm just being like, so. Hear me out. What if I trade you? We'll do a little trade. Let's work something out, buddy. You know?
Because she'd already gotten the note by that point that
right.
Damon and Stefan were coming, and she's like, listen, I can bargain. I've got one thing.
Right, yeah.
And then she didn't have one thing because Homeboy took her vervain off. But
yeah.
I don't like it. It's been a while since they've done like a full compulsion like that. And I forgot how much I don't like seeing it.
Yeah.
I don't... Nasty.
Yeah. It's no good.
So, Rose and Trevor, 500 years, really long time. That's nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a really long time. I don't like it. I was curious how this whole thing was going to go, because I knew like Damon and Stefan would obviously like show up or whatever.
Yeah.
But knowing, I knew I was already down bad because Damon's reaction to seeing Stefan had been drinking blood.
Yeah.
And that he had been drinking Elena's blood, and he was like, oh.
I was like, oh, Sabrina Breyer. Oh. Oh, cool.
Oh, romantic.
Interesting.
Great.
Interesting.
All right. Just jot that down. Okay.
Yeah. All right, bro. Cool. Love that for you.
And, like, Rose had done the whole... Like, the reason that she had brought Elijah or whatever was to, like, get a part in. So she was like, fuck this business. All these vampires are trash. I hate this. I'm not going back to Real Housewives. I just want out. I'm sick of this. This industry is trash. I'm just giving this doppelganger.
I'm gonna go and make tequila, okay? Get out of here.
I'm just gonna go and make tequila with my platonic soulmate Trevor. And Elijah was like, yeah, for sure. And then when he karate chopped Trevor's head off, dude.
Insanity. What?
I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that was allowed. It was so scary. But then it ended up, like, being fine. Because Damon and Stefan actually showed up and were actually being vampires. And we're like, haha, got you. Got you girls. And I'm gonna stab you.
Actually came to save the day, which is shocking.
Never happens with these
Never
two.
once. Can't trust them for shit.
But apparently the originals can't die.
Yeah, that was a fun little twist of like, oh, you just got fully stabbed with the world's largest wooden stake through a door. And you're like, all right, bet. Bye.
I couldn't tell because they didn't do too much of a close-up on his hand. I thought he might have had a ring on.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell for sure.
Yeah.
And if those motherfuckers didn't check for a ring and still stabbed him, I swear, I'm so done with them. They're so embarrassing.
God, just the worst to ever do it.
I hate them. How did you feel about after they got stabbed and Elena went down the stairs and Damon thought she was smiling at him, but she was smiling at Stefan?
Because they made that pause as long as physically possible.
It lingered for sure.
Because she is hopping down the stairs. She's like, thanks, boys. You really did it. And Damon's there like, fuck yeah. Finally.
That's my girl.
Love of my life. My wife. And she's so happy. She's smiling. She's like, fuck yeah. That's my dude. Oop. Stefan.
And
coming
then
out from
fucking
the
whack-a-mole comes up.
Yeah. Just like bonk. He leapfrogs over him. It's like, Helena.
No, literally. He's like, sorry, did you say something?
Yeah. Let me just scoot right by it. That's
he
my
just
girl.
pushes Damon over. Like,
yeah. And he's like, right, for sure. That's the order.
that makes
here.
total sense. Yeah.
Totally. Wasn't smiling at me. For sure. Anyway, I'm gonna go kill myself.
No, literally. Because why would you? Of course, you'd be smiling at the guy that you broke up with. That's logical for sure. Bye.
Yeah. Listen,
okay.
listen. He's got one girlfriend in the tomb, one not girlfriend but kind of girlfriend, giving him some just like the scraps of emotional needs that he needs, and so he's down astronomical, you know.
Cool, great. I'm gonna just go check out where the rest of those bombs were. Okay, bye.
Right, you guys have fun. I need to take a lap. Think bad thoughts.
Oh God. And then so they get back, and I hadn't been sure when Elena had originally gotten got by the masked guy if Jeremy had given his ring to Elena. And then when Jeremy did that very inappropriate hug to his sister, I saw that he had his ring on the whole time, which is fine. Yeah. He needed it. But when Stefan apologized to Damon and said, I'm sorry out loud, I
can't.
I thought, like, oh, this is a really painful episode. And then it just kept getting worse.
Right. It's like, how about you just twist the knife even more by just saying, like, hey, guess I just didn't want to be alone. And I needed my brother. Fuck off. What? Don't say that shit. I can't.
Damon just being like, enough.
Right. Yeah, it's like, all right, buddy, too emotional for me. Get out of here, you baby. It's like, I hate it here. I hate it here so bad.
And Rose just being like, hey, so sorry that I'm in your house or whatever. Sorry that you guys have a really shit security system.
Yeah.
I'm just going to remind you that this isn't over. And the originals are going to keep coming after Alina for Klaus. Or Klaus. I think it's Klaus.
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
Klaus seems correct, yeah.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
And again, I'm stressed because I know that name, but I thought that we had a couple of years left, so now I'm nervous. I don't understand. And then the end of this episode, fucking...
Don't even.
I just want to know, like, what is wrong with you all? Why?
What's your damage? Yeah.
Why do you hate us? Because this is one of my favorite tropes. And I hate you all for making me watch this. And making me... I was literally sobbing on my couch last night on a Friday night like a loser. This is a 14-year-old episode of television. It would actually look like a teenager in high school, unlike Jeremy. And Damon being in Elena's room and her being like, I have had the worst 12 hours of my life. Can you actually fuck off?
Right.
I would rather go sit on train tracks. It would be less painful than having to watch this.
Than this, yeah, fucking emotional terrorism.
Cody, I didn't think he'd actually say it. Not this soon.
And yet, he did.
He looked her in the face, said it. He said it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then
said,
was
God,
like,
I wish you didn't have to forget this.
Said, I can't be selfish with you. And kissed her on the forehead.
I'm gonna make frickin' lose it. I swear.
I would rather pull my own teeth out. I can't believe that he brought her vervain back. When we know that, like, a season ago, we had them, like, at the football game. With her being like, I have my vervain, you can't compel me, ha ha ha, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And now, a season later, he's telling her that he loves her. And then being like, I know you're not going to remember this. Okay, bye forever.
And the fact that she even, like, clocks it a little bit, too, at the beginning, and he's, like, holding it in his hand, and he's like, I have to tell you something. And she's like, well, why do you have to tell me something without that, huh? And he's like, just give me a second. And then
like,
goes
she
all
knows
that.
him.
Fuck off.
Because you know, like, you know, like, someone's body language changes when they're about to confess something.
Yeah.
Fuck my life. I hate it. I hate it. The fact that she looks down and her necklace is back on and he's gone.
Twisted. Sick and twisted.
I hate you all. I hate you all for making me watch this. I'm so upset. And the fact that you all had the audacity to be like, oh, well, it's only going to get worse from here. Like, what do you mean?
Enough.
How is this not the most painful part? What? And then, oh, yeah, by the way, Elisha's not dead. Like.
Right, yeah. It's like, okay, cool.
Great, thanks. What am I supposed to do with this information? Let her and Damon get back together? Or let her and Stefan get back together?
Yeah, you think I'm going to be happy with that?
As if I've been happy with them ever?
You think I've ever been happy with them? God.
Christ. So, next week, episode 9 is titled Katerina.
God damn.
Can you... Why is Jeremy touching Bonnie like that?
Yeah, that's a firm arm grip, for sure. / back situation.
It looks like he's, like, just touching her mid-back, and I'm...
Yeah.
Nervous. What I'm most scared about is if the original show doesn't start for 3 years, what kind of hell are they going to wreak now?
Yeah. I'm nervous. I'm scared.
I'm scared. So we have some patrons to thank for our emotional pain each week. Would you like to start us off?
Absolutely. Thank you to Maya Bennett.
Ooh, thank you to Sean Salvatore.
Ooh, thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Ooh, thank you to Kati Karp.
Ow. Thank you to Ashlyn Vogel.
Ooh, thank you to Maddie Facinelli.
Ow. Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Ooh, thank you to Danielle Burke.
Ooh. Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ooh, thank you to Dan Zeklos.
Ooh. And last, but certainly not least, thank you to Emily Ozera.
Ooh.
Pew, pew, pew.
So I have a fan fiction for you.
Yes.
This is by the author orphan_account.
Okay.
It is titled On Memory and Fantasy, and then in parentheses it says, he tastes like you but sweeter.
Okay.
The summary is, maybe Elena does remember what happened at the end of Rose.
Fuck. Don't. Why would you do this to me?
Because I'm in pain!
Suck, dude. You suck.
Because I'm in pain and I need to share it.
God.
And I didn't write it,
Right.
so.
No, right. Crack open the vein. Fuck, dude.
If you drink enough vervain tea, it will stay in your system for up to a month. Alaric makes a blend, an herby blackberry mint brew, which actually tastes good. Elena drinks a cup in the morning and another at night. Sometimes she'll drink a third in between if she feels like sitting and contemplating with a warm mug in her hands. That's why she remembers, of course. Elena's been practicing acting compelled in front of the mirror for the last year. She thought Damon would see through her act, but he had other things on his mind, apparently, like how much he loves her. Thinking about it makes her nauseous and nervous, scared and excited at once. Every conversation, she is waiting for her mouth to betray her, to blurt out, Damon, I remember everything. She imagines him quirking his eyebrow, his lips slanting into a smirk. What everything do you remember? That you love me, that you don't think you deserve me, that I... Even in fantasies, Elena always stops there. It's easier not to imagine what would happen next. There's a part of her that loves Damon too, or at least she wants him. She wants to see how he tastes. Like Stefan, sweeter, and scene.
Fuck. No. I hate it here. I hate it here so bad. Get me out.
I am in pain. Orphan_.
Yeah.
But there's more if you would like to sit in that discomfort.
Fuck.
This is it's just all pain here.
Oops, all pain.
Oops, all pain. Oops, all memories. Well, friends, tell your friends about the show. And as always, send your backstories, send fan fictions so that I don't risk spoiling myself. That'd be super dope.
Thank you.
And as we say here in the Pacific Northwest,
get bit.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.